My next surrounded claim is that the United States is tracking towards a civil war.
So effectively, this article comes out in like 2019, and this dude has been talking about it for like the past 7 years.
You can say that
Let me
there's
ask you a
a
question.
civil war every fucking year, and it doesn't happen. And
I
you're
never
gonna say
said
it just
there
hasn't
was.
happened yet.
Let me ask you a
Or
question.
if it does happen, you say, see, I've had it all
Let me
along.
ask-
It's
I
really
can leave.
easy.
You want me to
It's
go?
really easy to
You want me
do
to
what you do.
leave? You want me to
It's really easy to do what you do. Like, you literally just say,
My guy got the beanie on too. Where'd he get that beanie from? You are not beating the grifting allegations. Another day, another Jubilee episode meant to enrage you. Featuring in today's video is Tim Pool, who had the absolute nerve to show up there and call himself a moderate, when every single last one of us knows that for the past couple of years, he has been masquerading as a right-wing grifter. Unfortunately for him, the 20 progressives sitting across him to debate him feel the exact same way that I do.
My next surrounded claim is that the United States is tracking towards a civil war.
If you'd like to be the first debater, please head to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back.
Yep. You miss me? So, listen, I think that we are getting closer towards a peak of civil unrest in this country, and in all honesty, I'm going to blame people like you. This entire time, you've been trying to blur the line between what separates you and a person like me and everybody in the circle. Okay. The truth is, you don't agree. On your show, you have 5 white supremacists around you and 1 liberal lawyer talking about why we should protect the Constitution. On Twitter, you're mentioning the Civil War and why we need to have a Civil War
I've never said we need
24/7.
to have a civil war.
No, you've said Civil War numerous times. Slates of screenshots over the last 4 years alone.
Saying
That's-
that
I'm not
there
done.
will
talking
be
about shooting
one is
ivermectin up your
very-
ass,
I've
and
never
then
talked
all the time.
I've
stop
never
talking,
advocated
stop.
for ivermectin.
Yeah,
You have literally
stop
no
talking,
idea what you're
stop
talking about. You've
I
not
do,
done any
I do.
research,
You're
and you've
mad.
never
You're
used
mad.
Google.
You're
I've
mad.
never advocated for
I've used
ivermectin,
Google.
not once.
He's not gonna
In
stop
fact,
talking, you're gonna waste
I've
time.
never used it. I've never used ivermectin. I said no,
Hold on.
you shouldn't use it.
I'm gonna get to the
So if
point
you want
here.
to make things up,
Are you an
and
intellectual or are you too much of a child to
you want
stop
to just
talking?
waste time, then we can waste time. But if you have an
You're
actual
wasting time right
argument,
now, yeah.
so if
I'm
you
about to give it to
agree
you.
with
So-
me on the issue, but you don't like me, then we can agree and you can
No, I
leave.
think you're responsible. I think
That's
you're
fine.
responsible.
Okay, this is already turning out to be a complete cluster, but this is something funny that we'll kind of see play out throughout the duration of the segment, and that is he does this thing where he effectively tries to gaslight you, where he's doing something and you understand what the intended effect of what he's doing is, but he's going to try to play these like little logic games to effectively say, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not explicitly doing that. Therefore, I don't mean to have this certain outcome that I'm totally pushing towards. And what it means is that like, and someone else is going to bring it up later in this debate, but I think dude has like over 46 titles or thumbnails or videos with the term civil war in it, and basically doing all he can to enrage people more. Like if you were in the content space, you understand what you're doing when you are constantly pushing towards this idea of civil war. You are pushing at people's angers and frustrations with each other within this country, especially during the times of elections or even just throughout the course of the stupid culture war, and you are exacerbating those issues. And that's exactly what he's doing, basically pushing towards, hey, we need a civil war because we just can't agree and we just need to be the separate thing. He does it all the time. And he's basically playing this game now where he's saying, well, listen, I say it might happen. That doesn't mean today. That doesn't mean tomorrow. It could be 20 years from now. But I'm just saying it might happen. That's a weird Weasley game that he's playing because he understands that as he's talking about this stuff today, he's working on the fears that people have today. So playing this stupid game where he's like, I don't know what you're talking about is completely and utterly disingenuous. But let's try to keep it going, see what we can hear over this little kerfuffle that we have at the moment. And of course, let's keep it going.
You can get
An individual like you're mad.
If you
Yeah,
agree,
you just don't want to finish. You know where I'm going to go with this.
Do you agree?
You so
agree?
mistrust the
You're
United
allowed
States
to blame me
institution.
all you want, and then we can agree and you can leave.
You just want to run away from the
Are
conversation?
you here to dispute my claim or agree with it?
I think you're responsible.
That's fantastic. Thank you and have a nice day.
Oh, you don't want to hear why you're responsible?
It doesn't matter because you're here to dispute my claims, right? Not
It doesn't matter. You don't. All of a sudden, you want to stick to the definition of your claims when it comes to just about everything.
Are you
Everything else
supposed to agree with me and sit here and agree
You're not
with
going to
me?
stop talking, are you?
Are you going to sit here and agree
Are you
with
going
me?
to control yourself? You're like 50 years old, bro.
You're
Calm
going to
down.
agree with me?
Calm down.
You come down.
I don't
you
agree
sit
with you.
down,
I disagree with you on
shake hands,
everything.
You make fake claims.
Of course I do.
I've
If
never
anybody's
advocated-
doing something
never,
that they don't
I've-
actually.
I'm sorry, guys. My ears hurt too. I'm gonna give it a moment, and then we probably move on to the next speaker. But let's let him finish here.
I advocated on
Asset
Joe
for foreign
Rogan's show
advertising.
against ivermectin.
David, can you please address the claim?
I think America is getting closer to civil war, and it's all because of people like Tim Pool.
Thank you for agreeing with me. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you're a coward, bro.
Well, if you don't agree with me, I don't know why you're here. Also, I would recommend doing research before you come to a place like this.
Well, that was terrible. But I mean, listen, I will say this: that the guy who just came up there, he is a really good debater. He just really sucked on this particular one. And what I mean by that is that, like, we all know Tim is full of it. So get up there and prove how he's full of it. That's all you got to do. So I forgot his name, but I am a fan. I'm a fan of so far as I've started to see him pop up more and more in my feed. Not so much that I remember his name, my bad, but he's pretty good. But he didn't have a good showing there. That doesn't mean Tim looked good either. But you know, let's keep it going.
Welcome back.
Sam.
Good to see you again.
Great to see you again.
Yeah.
First time we talked about this was in 2019, so it's been quite a while.
I think it was
since
before
we've
that,
been calling
actually.
for civil war.
I've never called for civil war.
Or not calling for, I'm sorry, said that we're on the
Important
brink of civil war.
And what was the citation I had for when I said that?
I would love you to
It was
tell
The
me.
Atlantic.
Okay.
And it was a journalist who interviewed several national security experts who said that there's a range of opinions in the national security space that the U.S. is trending towards a civil war. Notably, that when you cite people like Stephen Marsh, journalist, as well as Barbara F. Walter, former CIA, the U.S. Academics describe the period that we're in as civil strife, meaning there's a criteria of death that has occurred for political reasons over the past year or years, for which the next phase would be civil war. However, we'll make my point, tracking towards it, I've not said that it will happen, although there have been many people who have said that we are in a cold civil war or some kind of cultural civil war. I always caveat, because I don't actually have a strong prediction.
Okay, by the way, that Atlantic article, as I've been hearing about, is like, again, it's like something from like 2019. So effectively, this article comes out in like 2019, and this dude has been talking about it for like the past 7 years. Okay, he uses it, as I mentioned earlier, as a talking point to prey on the tensions of our current society. Not to mention, like, hey, like I got to throw this in there. Every single time you talk about Tim Pool, you got to throw this in there. But not to mention, this is the same dude who was getting paid by like a Russian-owned Tenant Media. If you all know the story about Tenant Media, probably gonna mess it up a little bit here. But effectively, there was this like a Russian-backed organization that paid content creators for content. You have Tim Pool is one of them, Dave Rubin's another one, Benny Johnson's another one, and Lauren Chen, I think, is kind of like the front man for it, or front woman for it. And effectively, it's just like, they can say, and I'll give them somewhat the benefit of the doubt here, that, hey, we didn't know it was Russians who were paying us and all these different things. But you have to kind of think to yourself, why are Russians paying y'all for your content? They're paying them like hundreds of thousands of dollars for particular videos, like a couple of videos here and there. And it just has to make you think, even if you don't know that it's them fronting it, why would they want to pay you to keep making those kind of videos? Well, it's because the topic and the content of those particular videos and what they're doing is ultimately going towards Russian aims, which is really showing disinformation in the country and basically widening divisions that we have as a people. And so, again, whether or not he's saying there will be a civil war or, what it is that he's referencing, every single video that you go and post is a choice. And what you're thinking about it, how you feel about it when you do it, and whatever agenda you have behind it is yours to know. And does that change over time? Sure. Do you feel differently about certain things over time? Sure. But when you see how this man has been moving the past couple of years, it is actually hilarious that he still tries to call himself a moderate, considering how he's been a useful idiot and an absolute right-wing hack in many ways. But let's keep it going.
Strong tradition. If you've been saying this since 2019, there's
Well, reading
42.
articles about
People
it,
can
sure.
look this up. There's
Yeah.
42 of your titles that have the word civil war in it
Correct.
with big fonts
42.
on the front.
Sure do.
So why is that? It's sensationalist. It's easy to get clicks on that. There's a reason why you say it, because it's very profitable for your business.
Not
But there's
necessarily. We have
there comes a point-
1,600
Simple,
episodes of
simple,
just
simple.
IRL.
There comes a point where people stop taking your prediction seriously.
Are you going to make an
Like you
argument,
said-
or are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you. I'm
Okay,
trying
then
to
let's make an
explain.
argument about whether
I'm
or not
trying.
we are tracking.
Can
No.
you relax?
If you're making an
The point-
argument, you
no,
don't
Tim.
like my thumbnails, or you say my
I'm
name
saying,
over and over
I'm
again.
saying that you say bullshit in order to get money. But what
Let me
I
ask
really
you-
think
let
is
me ask you a
the
question.
predictions.
Let me
Hold
ask you-
on.
let me ask you a
Tim,
question you can't
I will
answer.
agree with you that there's increased polarization.
Huh?
I would attribute a lot of that to people being specifically online.
Let me ask.
There's a
I don't
lot
disagree.
less interaction
I
with
completely
people
agree.
that are in
Sure.
different camps.
Let me ask you a question.
But you're going to sit here and tell me that we're way more polarized than fucking Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr, who like shot each other with their disagreements. You're going to
Why
tell me
was
that
Aaron
Andrew
Daniels-
Jackson, who's the sitting
Do you
president,
want to have a conversation, or are you just going to be angry? Why was
polarization?
Aaron Danielson shot in the chest twice?
Sorry?
Why was Aaron Danielson shot in the chest
I'm
twice?
not disagreeing that political violence is
Answer
taking
the
place
question.
in
You say
Tim
Alexander
Pool.
Hamilton and Aaron Burr, but then when I ask you a question about an assassination, you defer.
You can say that
Let me
there's
ask you a
civil
question.
war every fucking year, and it doesn't happen. And
I
you're gonna
never
say
said
it just
there
hasn't
was.
happened yet.
Let me ask you a
Or if
question.
it does happen, you say, see, I've had it all
Let me
along.
ask you a
You're the
question.
same thing as
Let-
like the
let me
Christian
ask
Rapture
you
people
a
who say
question.
that the Rapture's coming every fucking year,
Are
and
you-
when it doesn't happen, it's
you want
like,
a
oh, it's not
soapbox?
happening.
You want me to get you a
I'm just
soapbox?
But real quick, just on that point, down to Harold Camping, by the way. Hey, what he just brought up there about the Christian Rapture folks, like if y'all don't know, this is just a shout out to some old dude who was the worst. This goes back to like 2011, but dude swore up and down he had figured out when the rapture would happen, when Judgment Day would start on Earth effectively. And I think he had it down at like, what was it? It was like 2011, May 21st. Dude had people sell their life savings thinking that the end of the world was coming anyway, and so it didn't matter what happened. All to have the day come and go and everyone move on because it was all BS to begin with. But it's just kind of funny. But that definitely rang a bell for me. I remember that time very well, and it is quite funny because that's exactly what he's doing. He is effectively going ahead and, as I mentioned earlier, preying on the fears of others and making cash while doing it. And from a business perspective, it's great. But I'm just like, you are not beating the grifting allegations. Let's keep it going.
Really
I can leave.
easy.
You want me to-
It's
you want me to
really
go?
easy to
You want me
like,
to
do
leave?
what you do.
You want me to
It's really easy to do what you do. Like, you literally just say,
My guy got the beanie on too. Where'd he get that beanie from? My guy took the beanie out from his shirt. Wow, this is crazy. Oh my days.
Civil War is happening next year. Civil War is happening next year. It's coming. Make sure you subscribe to Timcast. Continue to watch my videos, please. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. It's easy to do what you do, bro.
Oh man. Hilarious. Now, because I can't help but to be a little fair when it comes to these type of breakdowns, I will just give Tim Pool a little bit of the benefit of the doubt and to say, if he felt like ultimately he wasn't able to get his point across, I can see why he was a little bit frustrated. But ultimately, rage quitting and running away at that point was also pretty much a bad look. I feel like what he is being accused of and what he is trying to defend is the thing that we have all seen right here with our eyes each and every single day you've seen this dude on the platform. He absolutely is wading into the culture wars and is helping to make everything worse with titles like, hey, it's a civil war coming. I'm not saying it's here, but it's coming, and praying into those fears and doing everything he can to pretty much divide us. Is really no surprise why he would find himself in such an adversarial position with all the people he was debating there today. Because it's very, very clear when you think about it and why everyone's frustrated, because they just want an opportunity to sit down with this dude, grab that beanie and say, my guy, you need to chill because you've been wilding out this entire time. Honestly, I haven't seen the entire video yet, but I have seen a lot of clips, and I will definitely go ahead and check out the rest myself. And so, as always, I will include a link of the full video in the description here below for your viewing. And until next time, guys, that's the Jespective. What's yours? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you have not already, and subscribe as I got much more content like this on the way. So until next time, YouTube, peace.